I'm going to show you how to build this email agent with absolutely no code. So, hey agent, what's my latest Gmail? We'll send this in and the agent will then check using Gemini, so it's Gemini powered agent, will check my emails and boom, brought it back. It's from apply the waitlist, subject hi, says hi, this email's from n8n. If we go over here, click on that, here's the email here, hi, sent automatically with n8n. Now let's send an email to myself saying congrats on the first agent. And again, the agent will then this time use the send tool. And before I've even spoken, it's already done it. There we go. Congrats on the first agent. Click this open. There we go. Congrats on the first agent. Sent automatically by n8n. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how you can create this AI agent in n8n, which is a no-code platform used to build agents. It is super simple and it is absolutely free. So before we get into the tutorial, let me show you just how powerful AI agents are, and I'll teach you exactly what they are so you know what we're building. So first things first, we have to mention that n8n is absolutely popping off, as you can see. Why? Because it's a no-code solution to building AI agents, which are also popping off. And there's good reason as to why they're popping off. It really takes work away from you and gives it to an LLM, which is much cheaper. And that's kind of the main point here. And automated. So a little bit of background if you don't know about ChatGPT and all of these AI models that you use. Generally, an LLM, so a large language model, what they do is they just guess the next word. That's pretty much it. So for example here, predicting the words, attention is not to, and then there'll be a bunch of words here, like a million possibilities, and they'll all have a probability assigned, and it picks the most probable one. Now you can change something called the temperature, and if you change the temperature, then you can actually make it choose a less probable word, which makes it more creative. But essentially, they use language to guess the next word, and that's a fundamental understanding of what we're going to show you next. So normally, there's kind of three levels to this to get to agents. Normally, for something like ChatGPT or a normal LLM, say you wanted to send an email. Well, if you wanted to send an email and you wanted to use ChatGPT, what you would do is you would pass it the email chain or the emails that you require here. So 3 emails, say from a chain, you say write a reply. ChatGPT would then go away, draft out some reply, they give you back your draft, you now have that, maybe make a few changes, and then you'd send the email. So there's 3 steps here, but the thing to be aware of is, sure, ChatGPT writes the email, but you still have to send it, which can be difficult because you also have to then give it the context as well of these emails. Now, you then have ChatGPT plus memory. So in this instance, you don't have to give it as much context if you've already told it before. So, for example here, you've already talked to it before about these 2 emails, so it remembers that. So you can just pass one in, say write a reply, and then it gives you a draft back, right? And so in this instance here, you have removed a little bit of work from you. But you still have to go and send the email. Now, AI agents, this is where, as you can see, your workload gets taken away from you here. So you can say something like, write a reply to this email, you can send the email, and then it will have the context of the previous emails that it's sent, and then it will go and draft the email and actually send it, and then it will just tell you, done. So in this instance, it's completely hands-off other than you send the email. But also, in this instance as well, you can not even have to send that email. You can just say, write a reply to an email, or tell me which emails I have, for example. So here's a little bit of a more complex workflow. Let me change it a little bit. And don't worry, it looks complex, but it's really not once you get the hang of it. But essentially here, you could just say, write a reply to my most recent emails, please. Or you could have this run every day at like on the hour. And basically now, it will go and get information from your mailbox. So say it can have the context of previous emails that it's sent. It can then go and get emails from your mailbox to see how have you interacted with people like this in the past. Then, using this contextual information, it can draft and send an email to that person and then just tell you it's done. And as I was alluding to here, we are saying write a reply, right? So we're actually being involved here. But you could remove the person and instead have a trigger. And now this trigger could then say work every, as I was saying, 1 hour on the hour. And now you automatically have emails that are being responded to without you having to lift a finger. And so this is the power of AI agents. And the way that this works in n8n specifically is using this type of agent, as you can see here. So on the left hand side, we have chat, and now this is where you can chat to the agent. So I'm saying, hey agent, what's my latest Gmail? And from here, that then goes into an AI agent, which is connected to a model. In this instance, we're using Gemini because you can get a number of requests completely for free. We have a simple memory here, which we're using. So this is just to remember the previous messages it's sent or you've sent. And then here we have tools. Now the tools we've given it are sending an email and getting an email, as you can see here. And now the idea here is that, as we can see from this, the workflow here, we have the tools, right? But these tools can be anything. And that's the power of AI agents. So these tools are sending emails and getting emails. But they can be writing code, they can be reading databases, they can be scraping websites, so getting information. They can be searching Google. It can be anything. And so, as you can see here, it's so powerful. So let's get into n8n and we'll actually build this out. Now, if you want some guidance in building AI automations just like this is the reason that I created AI Automation Pro. It's a community of builders and entrepreneurs who are all learning how to use AI to save time and to make money. We have courses on the AI basics, Tech 101, and how to actually build with n8n, as well as every single automation that we've created on the channel. Now, when you join, you'll get a start here where you'll get a free consultation where I'll create a custom blueprint, architecture, and give you the resources to get you started. If you need any help along the way, you can get help from the community, as well as have a ticketing system here where you can fill out the form to tell me what your problem is, and we'll get back to you within 24 hours to help you. We have a 100% tech solution guarantee. And if you want to make money this week, we reward the top 3 contributors to the community. That means all you have to do is tell us about what you're building, help other people out, talk about AI, and we will pay you $15 if you come first, $10 if you're second, and third, $5 every single week. Meaning in a month, you could make up to $75 just by helping out other people in the community. So if you want to become an AI Automation Pro, head to the first link in the description below. The first thing you want to do is head on over to n8n.io. n8n.io is a no-code platform or a low-code platform where you create workflows just like this. So it has some sort of trigger. This instance, it's creating a user, then goes to an agent which has a bunch of tools as well as a model and a memory. And then it afterwards goes and does something else, right? So it'll send this message back to someone else. In this instance, it's sending a message on Slack. So n8n has a bunch of use cases. If you come on over, you can see it's templates of loads of use cases you can go check out, and it is well documented. So really good tool to learn. If you go to get started, it will then follow you through a sign up process and you'll get a 14-day free trial. Now, once that 14 days runs out, don't worry, if you don't want to pay for it, you can run it locally on your own computer, and I will have a video for that linked in the description below. But the easiest way to do it is using the cloud. So you then sign up and boom, you will then be here. So let me first go back to home, move this, go to home, leave it. And so when you first join, you'll be led with a screen like this. Now mine is in dark mode because it's the system default for me. If yours is in light mode and it's burning your eyes, bottom left, go to settings, theme, and you can change that to dark. I've got system default because mine is dark, and it will be much easier on your eyes. Now don't worry about all of these things that you can see here, all of this stuff. If you need to know it, I'll tell you about it when we need to know, so don't worry about it. So first thing we do is go to create workflow. Once you create workflow, you'll be given this canvas, and this is our canvas for building the workflows, and you can move around like this. You can grab as well to, as you see, highlight stuff. You can refit, zoom, in and out, and then here it's tidy up. So if you have a bunch of nodes and they're all everywhere, nodes I'll tell you about in a minute, you can then fix that. So the first thing we do is add our first step. So click on this plus here, and we'll see you can now select what triggers this workflow. Now, you can trigger workflows with a bunch of stuff. For AI agents like we're going to use today, you just do on chat message. So click on chat message, and this is what comes up. So we have here the when chat message received. This is like the settings and parameters, basically just a bunch of settings. And here's the output. So if we click anywhere else, there we go, we're back to here. You can see now in the bottom left we have this chat. Now you can click here to hide the chat, click to open it. So you can basically hide it and you can move around and stuff. Open it, you can see it again. So we have chat and logs. So in the chat, let's say hi. You can see it goes green because that's it done, but it hasn't really given us any output. And that's because it isn't connected to anything yet. So if we click on plus, we can then go over here. You can see AI. And from here, you want to click on AI agent. Now, if we click on AI agent, it will pop up like this. And we can see that we have this similar format of parameters and settings in the middle. And on the right hand side, we have output. But this time now on the left, we have input. Input comes from the chat. So up the top, we can change here from schema to table to JSON. So this is schema, this is table, this is JSON. Generally, schema or JSON is easiest to look at. JSON, if you don't know what it is, it's for key value pairs. In this instance, session ID would be the key, and then this would be the value of the session. Actions the key, send message is the value, chat input is the key, hi is the value, right? And the way you get these into here, so you can see that we have this JSON.chat input, is that literally just drag and drop it, right? Now we don't have to do that because the source for this prompt is the connected chat trigger, but if your chat was like multiple steps back, you can define it below and then you can like drag and drop it here. It's literally, it is so simple. So we have that connected. We now have our message onto our agent, right? So we're actually really close to being done already. So from here now, if we resend this message in chat, so if you hover on it, you can see we have two icons. This one is to repost, so this just automatically sends it. This is reuse, so it just pops it back up in here so you can edit it, right? So that's one way to do it. The other way is like this. And we can see it doesn't work. Now we have our error here saying that the chat model subnode must be connected and enabled. So this is a node. This is a node. If you click on plus here, you can add a bunch of stuff. So you can see that, oops, we do say like an action in an app. All of these are different nodes that we can connect to. Everything here is a node. Core stuff, these are nodes. Like for example, here's another node. So they're just like squares that you see. Connect them together to make a workflow. A workflow being A to B to C. Now the cool thing about agents is that instead of having A to B to C, we can just do add this kind of thing as a tool instead of a workflow, and then let the agent decide whether it should use it or not. So this here, we're going to delete it. You have a few options. You can either run it, we can deactivate it, or delete it. So we'll just delete. So from here now, what we want to do is we want to add a chat model, because this AI agent is just a framework. We have to plug in the model to get it to work, which is indicated by the red asterisk you can see here. So if we click plus, we're going to add in the Google Gemini chat model because it's completely free. Now you'll have to connect an account here, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So if we click create new credential, all we have to get is an API key. Now an API key is basically your unique key to let Google know it's you. Now the reason you have to let Google know it's you is so that you can get charged if you use enough that you have to pay for it, right? For reference, you can send 500 messages a day using this type of workflow completely for free. But in any case, it's so that you can get identified by Google. So the way we get this API key is we first want to open up a new tab and we'll head to console.google.com or console.cloud, sorry. And from here, you want to set up a new project. So this is like a container for all your APIs, etc. So if you open here, I've got a bunch. You would just literally just click create new project, give it some name, click create, and that's you done. It is that simple. So I've named this one my first agent. And from there, we then want to, so now in Google knows we have this project called my first agent. We now have to get the API key for this, it says Gemini PAM API, but basically it's for generative language, which is like using Gemini, for example, ChatGPT type of thing. So what we want to do now is go to aistudio.google.com because this is where we're going to get the API key. So let me delete that part there. Open this up. So don't be alarmed by how much is going on here. All we have to do is up at the top, it says get API key. If we click on that, it opens up this. Now again, this is code and stuff, don't worry about that. All we have to do is click create API key, and then here you just search or click your project, so my first agent, and then you create an API key in this project. Click create, and it will generate one, and it will give you this random assortment of numbers and letters and some underscores and stuff. And you click copy. This is now your unique key, so don't share this with anyone. And then you paste it in here and click save, and that's you connected. Now the next thing we have to do is select which AI model we want to use. So we'll use 2.5, so click on here and then we'll search 2.5, and we'll use Flash Preview 520. That's because this will be a nice fast one. It's the fastest, latest version. So if we come back over to AI Studio here, and I just remove that part there, go to aistudio.google.com, and over this right hand side you can see here that it says Gemini 2.5 Pro Preview. Now if we click on here, let me move my head first. If we click on here, you can see that we can select a bunch of models. 2.5 is the latest version. You can see it's indicated by new. And they have two versions, Pro and Flash. Flash is the fast one, Pro is the thinking model. Now you can use thinking for Flash. Thinking basically means that it tries to reason with itself to figure out what it's thinking about. So it makes it think longer. But Flash is fast and it's really good anyway. And you can see from here, ignore all of this stuff, or we can read it if you want, but it looks a bit kind of hard to read. But down at the bottom you can see it says free 10 RPM or 500 rec a day. What that means is 10 requests per minute. So every minute you can do up to 10 messages with a total of 500 per day. So you can just do 500 per day, which is cool. So that's why we're going to select this 2.5 Flash. So if we head back over here, we've got it selected, click out. We can now run this, and if we say hi, let's just repost this in. Then now runs with Gemini, and boom, hi there, how can I help you today? So now we have Gemini connected up inside of n8n, right? Now, one thing here to note is I'll say like, hi, my name is Luke, right? And then it'll be like, hi Luke, and I'll say, what's my name? And it won't know. Now the reason it won't know, there you go. The reason I don't know, or it doesn't know, is because it doesn't have a memory selected. So let's click plus, and we'll add a simple memory. And this one here is connected to the chat, and it has a context window of 5, meaning that it remembers the last 5 inputs from chat, basically. So now, if we say, let's repost this one, hi, my name is Luke, and then if I say, well, what's my name, it'll say, you're Luke. Boom, there we go. So we have an AI agent which now has a short-term memory. So, very cool. What we can do though is up here we can reset the chat session, and that will wipe the memory, wipe everything. So now if I say, what's my name, it won't know again because the memory's been wiped. There we go. Cool. So the next thing we have to do now is add the tools. So if we click on plus, and over here on the right hand side, we can search for Gmail, because that's what we're going to use today. We'll click on that, and it opens this up here with our input on the left, output on the right, and then all of our settings in the middle. So what we're going to do first is the get email. So we first have to set up a new credential. So if we click create new credential, click sign in with Google, because we're using the cloud version, we can literally just select an email and that's it. We don't have to set anything else up. If you were running this on your own computer, so n8n, which is possible, it is free after the 14-day free trial if you run it yourself, but then it's a little bit more technical. So anyway, if we click on this one here, apply the iWaitlist, which is an email I had used, I've already given it the access because you'll just select here and it'll say select all, and you'll give it access to get emails, labels, etc. We'll click continue, and there we go, connection successful. And so if we now come back here, we can see that the account is connected. Let's cross that out. So we now have access to Gmail. So now we want to set up what the tool actually does. Now this here, I've just got Gmail, and we'll click that pen to rename it. We'll say get emails. We'll rename that. And so the resource is message, because you can have it to create drafts or label emails or whatever. We'll have it as messages. Operation, want it to get many, and we want it to be able to get, say, up to 5, right? So we have here get many, 5, and then simplify, that's fine. So now this tool will work such that we can then get our emails. So if I say, you know, what's my latest email, let's see what it does. There we go. Your latest email is from Applied AI with the subject congrats. Congrats on your first agent. Boom. So it can get that email. Now what we can do here is if we just click on it, we can Control C, Control V, paste it, so create another one. And this tool will change this to say send email, rename. And this time message operation will be send, and then the to, subject, and the message, we can click on this here, which will let the model define this parameter. So if we click on each of these, and then we can click out. Now if we connect this using the plus to this tool, we can say send an email to, and we'll just do it to my personal email, saying, hey man, it's your first agent. And now this time it will go into send email and it will send that over. Right, so despite it's telling me that it couldn't fulfill the request, it actually did send the email, as you can see here. Now, the thing with this is it's important to realise that these tools are only known to your AI agent as the name and then the description are set. Now, to give it a further context as to what it actually is supposed to do, inside the AI agent here, you can go to options, add an option, and add a system message. Now, a system message is another name or n8n name for a system prompt, and this is the message that will be sent to the agent before the conversation starts. Meaning in here, you can have stuff like, you are an email assistant and have access to my Gmail for reading and sending emails. Use these tools as required. Something like that, right? And so now, hopefully, it will understand the context a little bit better. So if I do this, and I'll change it to say, saying some witty joke, it'll understand me. And then click that. It will then go and send this email. And there you go, your email with the witty joke has been sent. So if we head over to my Gmail, you can see we have this, a witty joke for you. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. That's pretty good. So you can see the power here that it can read and send emails. Now, this can be used for your personal assistant. You could sell it to clients, etc. It can be really good for responding to people. So like if you want to respond to clients really fast when you get a new email, something like that, and it basically will allow you to plug that in. Now, additionally, it's like having an email assistant. You could just then send it a message to like, you know, what's my latest emails? Draft a reply for this, and then inside here, instead of send email, you could instead have this as draft. So where is it? Message, draft, create a draft. So then instead of actually sending it, it will create the draft, so you can then go and check it to make sure it looks good. So super powerful, and it is the easiest way to get started with AI agents. There are a bunch of ways that you could enhance this. You could make it a voice agent, so you could talk to it. You could also, instead of setting these up individually, have what's called an MCP server, which has a bunch of them. But these are all more advanced techniques. But honestly, if you follow, say, the path that I've created inside of AI Automation Pro, you'll be able to do this no problem. AI Automation Pro is the community and course platform that I run. Essentially, it is a community of other builders and entrepreneurs which are all learning how to leverage AI automation to save time and to make money. And I have a bunch of courses here for the basics in AI, Tech 101, Learning n8n, as well as every single automation template that I've made on the channel so far, as well as exclusive ones. Now, in this Start Here guide as well, when you join, you will get this free consultation, which is something we've just launched, where essentially you fill out a form and you say, this is what I want to build. And I'll get back to you with a blueprint and the tools that you need to do it. And if you get stuck at any point in time, you can come here, fill out another form and get help, or you can ask other people in the community. But we have a 100% tech solution guarantee, so fill out the form and I'll get back to you with a solution within 24 hours. Furthermore, you can make money using AI from the get-go. So we actually pay for the top contributing members of the community every single week. Meaning if you are the top member for say an entire month, you could earn $60 to $75 just by helping other people learn how to use AI. So it'll be the first link in the description below. Come along and learn how to become an AI automation pro. Now I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.